Ooh, I have 17 followers. Since when? That's exciting. On Kick, to be clear. On YouTube, actually, I've been gaining subs as well. Perhaps nearly at the same rate. Yeah, man, if I just keep up this whole streaming thing, eventually I'll get somewhere. Actually, that's... I mean, that might be somewhat true. I do kind of believe that. Because I haven't been doing this this schedule for that long. It's only been like 3 weeks, maybe. Consistency. Consistency is key. You know, everyone says that. But until now, I haven't had anything that I actually wanted to do consistently. Let's see. Started August 8th. I mean, I did do some of the emoji stuff too on stream. That was like a somewhat daily stream. But it's basically been... I guess it's been longer than ago. It's been since the end of July, so 1 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, so it's been maybe like 7 weeks. Wow, dude, time flies. What the heck? Discord notification is out, I believe. Yes. Cool, we minimize that. Okay, we get the game open. That looks right. Always a slightly different aspect ratio. My second monitor is... See, I'm standing this time, and my second monitor is not exactly set up for that. Okay, that's probably fine. Not even going to be standing for long. Okay. So what are we doing? I don't know. I vaguely remember. I can't quite verbalize it though. We ended last stream with there being some kind of bug that I couldn't figure out. It looks like we are successfully getting data in the form of text from the server, and right, it's something to do with the timer. It's something to do with the really jank like timer thing that I set up before. Um, that's not working right now. Okay. Yeah, so can I figure this out? know if my code is this big. Oh my god, I can't freaking keep it in my head. So where is the timer thing supposed to be? If this dot received initial info, probably this. And current millis until match start is greater than 0. And okay, here's the match start timer. I'm supposed to be able to make sense of this. And this automatically gets updated. And it can be undefined as well if we want it to be. Although it'd be kind of silly for it to be. But that at least can't be the source of the bug. So I assume this is the source of the issue, right? This seems to be... Okay, what's going on here? So, do we not set this value? We do. We do set that value. I should also set this value here. I'm going to set all this crap right here. Because this is an important part of the calculation, right? Yes. Current time millis minus this last info request time millis. So what I should do here is say yep, that's a number. That's also a number. Okay. And this can be performance stat now. Yeah, that's fine. I assume, like, I'm pretty sure that should work. I think it should be on the same time scale. If it's not, if it's not, then there's some other parts of the program that I need to mess with. And I'm pretty sure I saw before that there was a slight difference. And that's, like, not good, but it should at least, like, not be vastly different. This should be working. I really think it should be. I guess I need to just, like, print all this stuff, right? Well, wait. Yeah, I just, like, print all this shit. And this isn't going to work, of course, until I've started my server, so I'll go do that. Mm-hmm. I see. Alright, let's try to figure this out. What it's displaying to us is a message that says match is starting soon, which is right here. It's an else, the else statement. So that means that this must be false. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Wait for it. What? What? Did I not? Did I huh? We didn't get here. Already sent initial info request. So this is the variable that I'm failing to set. This is the variable I'm failing to set. Okay. There's so many flags and oh, I hate it. It's so overly complicated. Although it might not actually be. That's the horrible part. Yeah, why? Why both of these? I don't know. I suspect I don't need both of those anymore. I suspect that perhaps the reason for these multiple flags was something due to the fact that I didn't have this like promise set up, this promise-based thing going on. Because we don't really care for this particular calculation. We don't care if we've sent the request. We care that we've actually received it. Because if we haven't received the information, the initial information, then we won't know what the server time is to begin with. So I don't know why this is conditioning on that. So I propose we do this, and we get rid of this. And I scroll all the way down here to get rid of this. There we go. Mission accomplished, I think. So this should fully autonomously start the timer and also display the table. Yeah, there we go. That's what we like to see. Now, could you possibly give me a hint? This seems okay. Right? Like, that's very, very close to 30 seconds. So I think it's reasonable to assume that the performance.now is doing its thing correctly. Players are undefined, which is correct, I think. Very good. Okay. Okay, well, it's not quite right. We can get rid of the console.logs now. Especially this one. And then we can get rid of all of our commented code because it's all working now. Okay, this is the part that I want to change. The number of players signed up for each category is something that I'm going to handle as like a separate category of request, because a lot of the time you like signups won't even be open. I'm not going to allow people to sign up like hours and hours in advance for something, right? I'm going to have like a small-ish window where they can sign up. So if it's not even in the sign up window, you shouldn't be able to send that request. But I think the current setup isn't really working for that. Like, I don't know that we don't really have a concept of a sign up time period yet. I'm gonna have to leave that out, I guess, of the design for now. Server. Okay, so this still need to do that. Still need to do that. Yeah. So it's like this is done. Um, The concept of signing up on the server is actually a little bit strange to me. I'm not totally sure how that's going to work. Okay, so that's something I should probably start thinking about now. Is what does it mean to be signed up on the server? How does the server track that? How does that work? I'm going to lower my desk now. Okay, desk is lowered. Need to lower my monitors as well. Oh, yeah, this monitor is very stubborn. Okay. What does it mean for a person to be signed up on the server? Well, for one thing, if they're not signed up, their mid-game requests will be ignored. So that's one thing, right? Like, if you're not signed up, then you can't send the server your data, your like keyboard events and stuff like that. Ah, yes, the server needs to know what room, what division you're in. Why though? Because I was gonna say it's like the server needs to know where to put your data, but to some extent that doesn't really matter. Yeah, to some extent that doesn't really matter because like probably I'll make the spectator API simple enough that basically the spectator just asks for a player ID number that it was given by the server previously. And so there's no need for the client to really understand what division you're in. Well, other than the client needs to ask, like, hey, I want to see all the players for Division 1, I want to see all the players for Division 2, etc. Oh, hey, Drip Client, I see you're watching on YouTube. Hello. Are you the one who chatted and I just like completely ignored you? I'm pretty sure I almost did that again. Hi. Okay, so we do something where it's like on sign up they set what division they're in so that a spectator can request players by division. Yes, that's basically, I think that's the main thing. Oh no, not you? Oh, okay. It was someone else who I ignored that day. Great. Good stuff. How are you doing? How are you doing this wonderful evening? You know, on the server, I don't even have a concept of a division to begin with. So this is a problem. This is a problem. Okay. Do I need player IDs? See, this is the question that I've come back to several times. And I keep telling myself that I don't really need player IDs. I just need the index of the index of the, like, in the array. That's the only thing that I need. I still don't know for sure. Let's go look at the server. Let's go. Need to move this window down. Okay. So the server's still running. What data do I have for a client? Okay. We know. Okay, here's the clients. There can only be 10 online players in my game ever right now. Surely that won't be a problem. But okay, ignoring that, we're storing what we're actually storing in here. The int thing that we're storing for the client is their file descriptor, because every socket connection gets a file descriptor, because sockets are files in Linux, probably in Windows too. But you know what? Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But at least in Linux, because this is a Linux server, sockets are files. So we have file descriptors for all of our clients. And what else? We know whether they've done the upgrade, the WebSocket upgrade handshake. We know, or we have an array of all the key events that they've sent us per client, so it's a 2D array. We know the capacity of that array, and we know the current number of elements in that array. Yes, because you need to keep track of both of these things for a resizing array, because resizing arrays are a pain in the butt. Okay, this is it. This is everything. Or, well, I mean, we also keep track of the number of clients. That's important. Oh my god, yeah, because these could... I don't want to think about that, but... Do I... Yeah, here's the interesting thing. So these are resizing arrays, right? We've got 10 of them. They're resizing arrays. What these actually are pointers to chunks of memory. This is, so in a sense, they're not resizing arrays. It's just an array of pointers, and I can arbitrarily at any point change that pointer to point to some other block of memory. When I need to resize the array, I'll just copy over everything and then have a bigger block available. That's basically what I would have to do. Well, it's that we're actually we're not really privy to how that works, because we actually just call realloc, and it gives us a pointer back, which may be exactly the same as the original pointer for all we know. So, like, who really knows what we could get back? But that's a rabbit hole. We don't care about that. So what I'd like to do, realistically, I'd like to be able to assume that these things don't resize. Because that would be bad. That would complicate things, wouldn't it? I would rather just have a static max number of any of these things. That would be really great. I could probably do that, right? That seems like something you can get away with on a game server. Sure, we just have a static max number of clients that can ever be connected. but we keep track of the number of clients because we don't want to, go down the long array. We don't have to like check everything in it if we know it's just empty stuff down there. Okay, cool. That makes some amount of sense. This is a problem though. I don't like that this is named clients. I want this to be named like client file descriptors or something like that. And these all start with client, except for this one. See, we've got a lot of little problems here that I want to deal with. Okay, that's one thing. And then you're going to be client file descriptors. Wait, no, that one you do replace. You do replace that, yes. Remove client. Yes. Close client. Okay. So that's taken care of. I'm happy with that. So I could store the division, right? That's just a separate array, I think. Yeah, I think that's basically just another array. Okay. Yeah, if we know what division the client is in, then we're all good. What about when the spectator asks for a list of all players of a particular division? Is that search going to be slow? Do we care about the speed of that search? Because that could be an issue. Can we do a linear search on that? Realistically, I feel like yes. Like what? Say we have 1,000 players. Do I really think that iterating over an array that has 1,000 elements in it is going to be an issue? Doing a Boolean check on 1,000 elements, I feel like that's nothing. That's nothing, and I shouldn't try to optimize that away just yet. Okay. So this is what we do. We now will have a I mean, we're using ints for everything when really we could be using a much smaller data type. Sure, let's try a smaller data type. We'll use uint8. Because 8 bits, 2 to the 8, we will never have that many divisions. And even if we did, I would just change the data type of it. It would literally be no problem at all. But yeah, so we'll say client divisions. Okay. Yeah. Is there some degree of initialization I want to do here? That's an interesting question. So what could we do? Let me think. Because there's two different kinds of no division. There's a client where like they haven't signed up yet. And if they haven't signed up yet, we still need to keep them in our list of clients. But they haven't signed up yet, so they don't have a division really. And then there's a spectator. Spectators will stay in our list of clients even mid-game, but they shouldn't show up in searches for like lists of players in certain divisions. That shouldn't show up. So what do we do with that information? Okay, I think we'll use -2 and -1. I think that's a thing we can do. Yeah. We need to do like a capacity, because I see this number 10 everywhere, and I don't like that, so... What do we do with that? What's the C way to deal with that? I think you do a define. Don't you just do a define? I think that's what you do. What is this? Look at this. Do I use this anywhere? I use this literally nowhere, but this is useful. Max clients. We'll set you to 100, because that's a little bit more realistic. And we'll put you everywhere. Because the thing, like, you can't use a variable here in C, I'm pretty sure. Because then it's not static. Then it's not a static allocation. But if you use a define, then it is static, because define is a static thing, I think. No clients is still 0. So this should compile at least. Yes. Yes, this compiles. Okay. Great. That's what I expected. Cool. So what am I doing here? This I'm doing like an initial calloc for everything. I don't know how to say these, by the way. Calloc and malloc and realloc. I change my pronunciation of them every time. Okay, so I need to fill this with -2, so that's what I want to do. Okay. So we need I just need to like start defining all the different quote unquote endpoints or APIs or whatever that I have here. Endpoints, is that the best analogy? Yeah, I think endpoint. Okay, so this one is going to be a like a player count, like a player sign up thing. So you can get a live feed of how many players are signed up per thing. And then this is going to be register to a division. Or spectate. Do I even have that option here? Well, kind of. Like, for pretend. Hold on. We run the server. We've definitely got a problem here. Okay. I used the uint8. Every time. Every time. God dang it. Because it's unsigned. Do I want a signed int? Does that exist? Int. Does int8 t do you exist? Well, I guess the easiest way to find out would just be to run it and see if it compiles. Assignment to expression with a oh. It was actually something I was confused about. I mean, -2 was definitely going to be a problem, but, okay, int8 is a real type that exists. uint8 definitely shouldn't have worked, right? Oh, that's bad. I don't like that. I don't like that works. What are you? What is that? %t/n. Oh, hold on. 0. 254. Really? Really now? Okay. Oh. I don't like that. It's like trying to be helpful, but that's icky. I don't like that. C, why? This is why people don't like C. It like lets you screw things up. It's not okay. I mean, on the other hand, uint8 is the only thing that resembles a byte, which just allows like arbitrary binary information. So like, I don't know. Now this should print -2, right? Yes. Okay. Good. What was I doing? Oh yeah. I wanted to see if I even considered the possibility of registering as a spectator in the UI. Because I don't think I did. Don't like that. Yeah, you can't there's no, that's not part of the UI currently. Okay. I mean, it's kind of here, but don't. These are not real. This is for a different part of the test. Well, that's not great. That's simply not great. But this will be a thing. Here's a question. Do you have to register before the match starts to be a spectator in it? Or can you just show up in the middle of it and spectate? That's something. I feel like an average user would expect that they can just show up and spectate at any time. I feel like that's what a user expects to be able to do. Huh. Oh boy. You know what? I bet I would, I bet probably what I would do to optimize requests for player count is I would probably, like, just keep a live track of how many people are registered per thing. Because it's quite possible that I'll get this request, like, multiple times per tick. That's probably what I do. I know I explained that I didn't really care to optimize it, but then I realized that I could have 1,000 people making that request, and then it's 1,000 times I have to go through that list of 1,000 things, and it's like, oh, suddenly that's actually really slow. I mean, still not that slow. Still, it wouldn't overload the server, but I'd probably just keep it running till. Okay, but how do I handle that? How do I handle the fact that you can register as a spectator at any time? Okay. So maybe that's still, I mean, that's a little bit clunky, I feel like. The fact that you have to register first before you can spectate, like, why? you know? Like, why bother? Why put that extra step in place when instead you could just request the data? Yeah. Maybe the concept of registering as a spectator doesn't make sense. Maybe the concept of registering as a spectator doesn't make sense. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe on some level it could make sense, but probably what I'd do is. Oh, geez, this is thinking way too far in advance. Um, because for the live demo that I want to get done by the end of the year, I'm not even going to have authentication set up. Um, but I guess I'll just say this. I do imagine a future where you need to authenticate first to be able to be a spectator. Probably. Probably. Yeah, probably. Um, yeah, because like you have to own the game, right? That's I guess that's one thing I could say is it's like certain things like I'm gonna have a web server, right? And the web server is you don't have to authenticate to be able to request certain kinds of data, probably, unless that becomes an issue. But no, generally, if you're a web server, you just give the web page to anyone who asks, right? This is different. This is like the game, and so at some point in the future, you will need to actually like say, "Oh, hey, I legitimately have a copy of the game. Uh, I'm not just somebody sending a request to a random server out in the ether." Yeah, but that's probably that's way too far in advance. So for now, actually, okay. Okay, so why do you need to register if you're a regular player? Why do you need to register if you're a regular player if there's no authentication? Um, yeah, why couldn't you just do it where um, basically along with the key event data, you're also sending well, you need to have yeah, no, it's just basically the player needs to set it at some point and he can't set it at some other point. So yeah, basically, okay. So the spectator type requests, literally anybody could send those. And then yeah, you need to register as a division. Okay, I think it makes sense. I think that makes sense. Okay. And if that's the case, then we say -1. Because we don't need a -1 and a -2, because there's no concept of signing up as a spectator. Okay. Aha. This is actually tremendous progress, even though it doesn't seem like it. Okay. And then there needs to be some kind of like some kind of I don't know how global this boolean is going to be. Let me think. Let me think here. I don't have a concept of a global variable, which is a little bit concerning. I'll just put it somewhere here for now. Um, yeah, we need some kind of thing. This is all the client stuff. I think we'll just use a single number to store the quote unquote state that the server's in. Be that there's two pregame states, okay? So pregame 1 where you can't sign up, you can't register. Pregame 2 you can register. And then there's like mid game. There might be something in between. Then there's like mid game, and that's probably it. So we'll just say like match state, and we'll set it to we'll set it to 1 for now. That's not how you spell that. That's not how you spell match. Okay. So 0. I should probably use an enum for this. I don't know how to do enums in C. So 0 would be pregame. No signups allowed. 1. Okay. And depending on the match state, these endpoints will have different behavior. Because how it should work is if someone's trying to send you key event data and the match hasn't started yet, you ignore that crap. That's that's I don't know. Somebody's trying to cheat or hack or whatever. Or somebody has really bad latency, I guess, technically. That could happen. But yeah, things like that. So I guess kind of the match state is going to need to be passed into a lot of these. Okay. Spectator. And see, yeah, so this kind of spectator request also can't work when the match hasn't started yet. So I guess everything is basically gonna have these match state variables passed in. What about initial match info? do we... I'm going to say we probably allow this at any time. Um, even if a match is ongoing. Because, like, it might be nice to know at least, like, oh, or maybe not nice to know, but it's just more intuitive to be like, if a match is ongoing, for it not to just be like the match has started, but instead for it to be like, oh, here's what was on the menu, and and it's ongoing, and here's how long it has to go for it to be done. I might have to mess with the initial match info thing to. It'd be nice if I could universally report both, like a single number that could both mean how long until the match starts, or like um, how much time is left in the match. It'd be cool if I could do that with one number, but I don't know that I can. In which case, I might have to change this. I don't know. Okay. And we're going to comment it out, but it's something like... two. Something like that, basically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I believe that will work. I believe that will basically work. This seems like a fun function to write. I could try writing it now. Handle division registration. Hey, hello, Kevin Zen. Welcome to the stream. How are you today? Division registration request. Okay. We certainly need to know... Oh, I need to change this variable name. Okay, I think that's right. We need to know... Do we need to know? Do we need to know their file descriptor? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna pretend we live in a world that has no need for like confirming that you received a message. That's what I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna continue to live in that fantasy world until I receive a rude awakening. Because for the time being, I believe that the socket protocol that I'm using is supposed to guarantee receipt of my messages. Yeah. Oh boy. I can't wait for that to go awry. But yeah, we certainly need a client ID. Actually, we need a client index, not a client ID. Yeah, what even is client ID, honestly? Client ID is client index. Because look, I'm using it to index into the client data. Yeah. Why do I call it ID? Consistency. This might not seem significant, but for one thing, I've said this before, it's important for feeling like you have ownership over your code. And for a second thing, I find C code really unintuitive most of the time. So, any slight lack of consistency, like this is so conceptually a lot for me to deal with. And any inconsistency at all is going to totally mess me up. So, I need to understand what's going on in this program way more than usual. Okay. So we know their client index, and we probably need to know their division. Except division is an int 8. Yes. It is. It truly is. Well, this should be. Oh, I need. I was gonna say this should be really simple. I just set the value in the array. What array? We need to be past it. What is the name of it? Client divisions. We're going to be given a pointer to client divisions. Yes. Here's our pointer to client divisions, and we want to say client divisions client index is equal to division. That's what we want to be able to say. However, there are hackers on the web that at any time are trying to take me down. So you have to protect yourself. And this is how I protect myself. I don't know what numClients is. I've never seen it before in my life. Where do I put that relative to client index? Probably after. Probably put it there. Yeah. So if we go back to the UI for just a second. Okay, go back to the UI for just a second. Okay, and oh, I can't. I need to get rid of that freaking log message. Let me go back to this. Where is it? Did I deleted it, right? Where's the console? Okay. If I do npx web package, it stops saying that over and over again forever. Okay. Create a WebSocket. Request initial info. We get it. Okay. Notice that we can click one of these and sign up. But I also decided there would be a cancel button. That silly front-end engineer programmed in a cancel button and didn't tell backend about it. What the hell? So that's interesting. I think. So what would I do? I think basically I would just register for division -1 in that case. I feel like that's equivalent. Go back to the game server. Okay. Yeah. I think that's basically what we do. Okay. Yeah. They can register, they can unregister. Yes, that makes sense. So this is really simple. Oh, but wait. But no, it's not that simple because we're not going to be... You silly Billy. You're not passed in the division. You have to parse it out first. Silly, silly Billy, silly Billy, silly. So this, I think, is pretty universally what we get. We have to parse that data out. So we're not given this information. That's a fantasy land. Client index. We do know this though. We do know the client index. We infer the client index from their file descriptor, in a sense. We infer their client ID from the fact that we're every tick of the server, we're iterating over our list of clients. So we just have an index anyways. But what we're actually, you could also think of it as it's tied to the file descriptor because that's the information that we have access to. Like if we say we weren't using a for loop and we were instead doing some like vectorized thing where you don't have an index, or we're doing it in parallel, you'd have to like go correlate the file descriptor with some with some index or something. That would be the key in that case. But that's not what we're doing. That's a whole different setup. So that's fine. This is not. Well, wait. So but the client index is coming from a trusted source. So actually, this is unnecessary. We still we still need to parse it though. How do we parse it? How do parse? Well, isn't it? It's already parsed though, right? No, it's already parsed. I don't need the. Do I need the header? I don't need the header. Do I have some check based on the payload length? Maybe I do. Why do I decide? Why do I do this here? Do I use the header for anything else? I literally don't. I guess. Sure. I guess sure. For the sake of matching the weird pattern that I have before, if header dot payload length is not equal to 1,000, 100. That's not the right number. We do this. We do that. Okay, so we have decoded message in. We have it. Here it is. So what am I looking at? So what do I know about this? If I'm not mistaken, some of the payload is already taken up, right? Yeah, we do this. So this is 4 bytes. So basically we expect 5 bytes. Honestly, ideally, I would like obfuscate this fact from these functions. Because now I have so many of them. And I'm doing like this +4 offset thing implicitly everywhere. And I don't like that. So probably what I would do is I would just do +4 here. Going forward. Although the payload length is misleading. Okay, but let's ignore that for now. We'll say that it equals to decoded message in 4. And I don't know if this is strictly necessary to do this little typecasting thing. I don't think it is, but... so the answer we're looking for here is 5. 4 for the the number that comes first that I arbitrarily decided as a part of this API. I guess we call it like the endpoint identifier. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. And it's in theory that should just work, right? We have the client index. We know how many clients. We don't need this anymore. We're using this only for the payload length check, but that's fine. We get the decoded message in, and this is a pointer to the array that we're modifying. So yes, you pass that in as well. Yeah, and this shouldn't have the possibility to break anything. Like, literally any binary data in here should be interpretable as an int8t, as long as there is a byte there. So this shouldn't actually be able to break things. So I think this is totally kosher. Cool. Okay. We have a new endpoint now, kind of. It doesn't really do anything. It lets the user store a number on my server. That's very good. That's very helpful. So what do we got here? You know, we put this at the end here. Does that mean I should? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Header, decoded message in, client divisions. Okay, and then I just need the, whatever you call this. The prototype, I think is what it's called. The forward declaration of the function. Because you have to do that in C. We probably pass in the match state too. Now that I think of it. Because can you really register while the match is in progress? No, not at all. Okay. Now, how do we test this? Well, first of all, do you compile? You do. That's interesting. Okay. Sure, you compile. Sure, yeah, okay. I'll believe that. Now I need the corresponding thing on the client side. The corresponding thing on the client side is an absolute disaster. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Do we think there's a way for the user to like rapidly switch divisions so fast that it confuses the server and makes it have like an inconsistent value? Yeah. But we ignore that. We're going to ignore that possibility for now. Oh my god, that could literally happen too, couldn't it? I hope no. I hope in the vast majority of cases the answer to that is no. Because you'll just like on average have a latency that's low enough that and they're not changing the sign up state that quickly that it could matter. I think. And I think that don't sockets like do ordering of things for you for free? Kinda. Isn't that kind of what a stream socket gives you? That it's like guaranteed to arrive in order. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think the individual message, the packets that constitute an individual message are guaranteed to arrive in order. But I don't know about like sending multiple messages. I don't think that that's necessarily true. Oh boy. Oh boy. I need to find where's that UI element. Okay. This division ID is equal to parse int get ID of selected option. So all this is doing is it's setting the division ID to that number, right? If is nan division ID, then it's undefined. I don't totally get how that's supposed to happen in here. I'm sure past me had a reason for that, though. Oh, it's like if the so this could possibly return a nan. That's why this is there. Is because this could possibly return a nan, because I guess this could fail. Okay. Okay, I see. Yep, that's weird. So we set the status message when we have a new division ID. Does this happen twice? Or no, I think division the UI needs to get updated, but the server state should be ooh, I don't like having another set of state. That makes this so much more complicated. But no, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. We just need a function that that will send a request to the server. So let's do that. So we're guaranteed to already have a socket that exists if we can see these UI elements, right? I think that's true. Load initial info. So we should have something here. Send division registration request. Okay, then we're gonna do, we need a data view, we need an array buffer. We've done this song and dance before. What do you need to be? You need to be 5. You need to be 5. Because we do this. Right, we always do the int32. Why are we using 32 bits? I still don't know. I still don't know why we're doing it like this. But we are. Position 0 value the 4? Let me double check real quick. No, 5. 5 is division registration. Data view dot. Now, please tell me we have set int 8. Thank God. Position 4. Set it to division ID. Right. We don't need this. We don't need this. Because, right, endianness doesn't matter because it's a single byte. Yep, that's correct. Send division registration request. This .socket.send? Yeah, this .socket.send. Oops. It's just like that, right? Send the array buffer, we send the array buffer. Okay. I do wonder if I should make the server send responses of some kind, you know? That's what's weird about this, is it's like... this first half, or this first... I don't know if it's half per se. This first part of all the server stuff is really not what you use sockets for, generally. You'd probably use like a REST endpoint or something. But I don't want to implement both the WebSocket protocol and some weird REST thing at the same time. Like, why? Why would I do that to myself? I don't. That seems really silly. And I don't know how to do the REST thing, so like maybe once I figure out how to do that, I'll totally change this, but for now this should work totally fine. I think this should work fine. Cool. So that'll do that, I think. The server shouldn't be running currently, I don't think. Let me pop in. It is not. Am I sure about that? Yes. Okay, it's not. But what I would do is I would come over here and just to like do this little test, and then we'll be done. Actually, and to be precise, I do believe we'll be done for the stream will be done. But, you know, bugs do have a habit of popping up at the end, just for the fun of it. Okay, what do? We say, yeah, so we're gonna just, oops, oh, careful now. Okay. Printf. There you go. Do we want to call it division ID? I mean, on the client side, for whatever reason, we're calling it division ID. Okay. I think that should work. Yeah, so we pop over here. We go ahead and hit a refresh. Yeah, that seems to be working. And we register. Division 0. And then we pop over here. Receive request to register for Division 0. There it is. Okay. So let's try Division 1. Well, that didn't work exactly as I planned. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. Division 1. Division 1. Oh my god, dude, this is fantastic. I might be learning how to code in C. Oh, this is great news. Look at that, dude. We coded a whole endpoint in this stream. Granted, it is an extremely simple endpoint. But this is fantastic. Okay. Yes. Yes, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Next time, I think I'm going to, probably the next thing I could do is like player sign-up counts, right? Yeah. And we'll have to like keep a running table of everything. And then maybe 2 streams from now will be more UI stuff, and we will progress. We will graduate to mid game. And we already basically implemented the server side of the mid game, I think. So it's just a bunch of client side stuff in theory. I don't know. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you probably tomorrow. You know, I could always decide not to stream tomorrow, but no, I try to make a habit out of this. So yeah, hopefully I'll stream tomorrow. Yeah. Until then, farewell.